T minus 3, 2, 1, ignition.
What you know about this life? Yeah. Just relax, baby, get high. Yeah, you're on your way to the best night ever. No top on, no top, out with the stars.
What is up, Best Night Ever League? It is me, the Extra Chromosome, coming at you with this hot Week 13 recap. The week before, the week of all weeks, the week to decide who is losing, who will be winning. Um, Kind of a crazy week that we had, Week 13. I'll talk about that pretty quickly, but I really want to get into the matchups going into the playoffs, so I think that'll be the main focus. But um, holy shit, I got like Kramer hair going on. Just woke up. Not just woke up, I haven't showered. But anyways, we'll talk about the matchups, what went down. Um, Start off with mine and Finn's. I mean, pretty uninteresting because it didn't really have much stakes. A lot of things would have had to happen for us to have any stakes in this, really. But I was just hoping Finn would beat me just in the chance that it would keep Michael out of playoffs because I have his pick and I want him to lose. But things just don't go your way in fantasy. So, talking about Finn's team here, we got Fields. He's back, baby. He's doing stupid shit. He had 2 picks, but still squeezed out 17 points. Derek Carr was decent, 15. Montgomery about 15. I mean, he's got Jonathan Taylor, the new pickup, but that shit, man, that Colts offense is bad. So they had quite the challenge against Dallas, and he struggled. But then we got Tyreek Hill dropping 28 against San Francisco, dude. Like, there's no team apparently that can shut him down. And that was with Waddle basically doing fucking nothing. So just a crazy game for Tyreek. Tyreek could very well be why he destroys me next week. And then Terry McLaurin had a huge game, 23 and a half. Wish I picked him up back when I had the chance. Holy shit. But he sucked so much ass last year. I wanted no part of him. Then my team, we had a decent game from Herbert. He was airing it out, but he fumbled a couple times for almost 20. Gino is still insane. I mean, he's not like dropping 30 bombs, but holy shit, is this guy consistent. Look at these. I got to flex Gino a little bit. Look at these past 5 games. I mean, 19, 19, 18, 20, and 24 now. He's throwing 28 for 39, 367 yards. Kenneth Walker's out. Their backup is out. Their third string is out. He's carrying their entire offense. I love Gino. Then we have Brian Robinson. He kind of got fed, 11. Najee still sucks. DK dropped a big one. T. Higgins, thank God he got a touchdown. He almost didn't do shit. And then Mark Andrews is, oh God, the Ravens offense is fucking disgusting. I don't know what the hell they're doing, who they're throwing it to. It's not Mark Andrews, but he was the most targeted receiver in their game. And now with Lamar out, oh God, what a nightmare. And then Josh Pollard didn't do much. So Finn ended up beating me, 142, 130. I gotta do this a little quicker. This video is gonna be like 80 minutes long. Then Cam completely shit on Jacob's chest. I mean, not much to talk about Jacob's team. Just a bunch of disappointing performances from all of his players. Deshaun Watson looking mega rusty, and that is a big concern because Jacob has no back. I mean, he's got Mike White, so I guess if Deshaun's really that bad, he can just like throw him on the bench, but holy shit, Deshaun looked like he was lost. He had no clue what the hell was going on. So that was rough, and I would be very concerned. He's got a lot of rust to shake off. It's been like 7 or 8 days since he's played football competitively. So yeah, that was rough. ETN did nothing. Jefferson kind of popped off still, 15 points. But Waddle, holy shit, it was a Tyreek show, so he didn't do anything. Waddle is the definition of boomer bust. Damian Pierce kind of did something again, but I'm just concerned about the Houston Texans. They might just like start benching this guy because it's like, what are they even playing for at this point? So, and then KMC, just typical Joe Burrow, 30 points out of nowhere. Just crazy. Tony Pollard is him. Holy shit, he might be the reason Cam defeats Andrew. Because who do they play? Yeah, they play Houston next week. Oh God. Oh. Oh, sorry, Andrew. That might be a rough one. So yeah, and then Cleveland defense. I mean, Jesus Christ. 32 points, dude. They had 3 fucking touchdowns. What the hell is this? Some poor asshole lost. He got kicked out of the playoffs because he faced Cleveland's defense. R.I.P., dude. Oh, what happened to the rest of it? What the hell happened? All right. Then Michael with the big win. This was pretty huge for him. Clearly, he got into the playoffs because of it. Connor fucking choking when he. I mean, he had no stakes, but I really would have appreciated if he won. But yeah, Kenneth Walker went out. He was probably due to have a huge game. He had like 30 yards in the first play of the whole fucking game. So I imagine he was about to do a lot. He got injured. Derrick Henry just completely shut down by Philadelphia. Teams are figuring out how to shut down Derrick Henry, which is a little concerning. So watch out for that. Then Godwin with a decent game. Godwin appears to be Tom Brady's favorite target. Mike Evans is kind of sitting in the back seat now, and Kelsey just somehow did nothing against Cincinnati. 6 targets. What for Travis Kelsey, bro? What? Ty Lockett rolling. But yeah, Michael showed up, and I this is like I would much rather see this than see Michael score like 110 points and Connor scored like 105. Like Michael actually earned this win, so big win for him. Congrats, you made it, boy, and you're in the playoffs. And yeah, everyone on his team just popped off. Not really popped off. Everyone was just like 15 or 16 from Saquon, 15 from Dalvin, 18 from Keenan, 32 from Amon, P Ryan with 21. Which that would have been funny if that's what got him in. If it was me dropping fucking P Ryan to him. Would have. Oh, that would have been funny. But yeah, looking good for Michael. He's in the playoffs. And then we have just Andrew. Yeah, he can't even get to 100. A lot of injuries, man. His team is a sad case at this point. He's lost Jimmy G. He's lost Stafford. Mike Evans is just gone. I mean, the Bucks are just like a broken offense right now. Kittle just doing absolutely nothing, and now that they're down to their third string quarterback, I don't think that situation is getting any better. And now he's got Deshaun Watson just ruining Amari Cooper. I mean, he was much better off with Brissett because at least Brissett was throwing him balls that he could catch. Like, holy shit, 9 targets and he only caught 4 of them for 40 yards. Sheesh. Uh, and then Bobby's team doing what it does best, just completely burying his opponent. AJ Brown has been weird. He has been very boomer bust. I mean, he hasn't scored above double digits for the past 3 games. And then he comes out and he just drops 2 touchdowns on his ex team, the Titans, and he destroyed him so bad that they fired their GM. And Devontae is Devontae, so he is basically in the same situation he was at in the Packers. He's the only guy on their offense that can catch, besides Josh Jacobs occasionally when they throw him the ball. And that's really all there is to it. I don't even know who their second wide receiver is on their depth chart. Maybe does Renfro even still play? Apparently not. And yeah, so Bobby destroyed Andrew, and with that we have our playoff slate set. Why the fuck does it keep changing page? Stay on league. God damn it. Oh, I got a bunch of tabs open up here. Shit. Anyways, what was I going to talk about? Anyways, all right, going into the playoffs, week 14, we got some big matchups. I'm just going to start at the top of the list. Finn and I lucked out. I don't think Finn's a shitty team. I think he just has very shitty luck with buys, and holy shit, does he have a lot of people on buy. He's got all of his Commanders players, Jonathan Taylor, new pickup, all of his Bears, which is Fields and Montgomery, and Fields is really the reason, I mean, besides Tyreek, that he has been rolling so hard recently. And of course, it doesn't show the color of the matchup, so I'm going to look at my phone. But going down the line on his team, we got Kyler playing New England in Arizona, so Belichick's typically all right against younger quarterbacks, and Kyler sucks at home. I mean, the Cardinals just suck in general at home, but that doesn't mean much to Kyler. He's probably going to still perform, I would imagine. He's played decent defenses and still puts up at least like 16 or 15 points, so that's really all I'm hoping for out of Kyler. It would be appropriate, though, that he just explodes for like 35 all over my chest to really make me feel bad for trading him away, but I don't think he can do it. I think his stupid fucking coach holds him back too much. So we'll see what Kyler does. I'd be thrilled if he scored like 17, man. That'd be great for me. That'd be like a best case scenario. But then he's got Derek Carr against the Rams, and Carr recently has been playing well. So I'm a little worried. I think the Rams are a decent defense still, but I don't know. You just never know what you're going to get with Carr. He could very well come out and drop 1 point. He could come out and drop 23 points. You just don't know. So, big question mark with Carr. Raheem Mostert. Uh, oh man, he's really starting this guy. God damn. And he's got no one else. I mean, Jeff Wilson is basically the guy in Miami when it comes to running the ball, but the Los Angeles Chargers run defense is like one of the worst in the league. So he could, I mean, all it takes is like a touchdown for him to be worth something. But um, I think Jeff Wilson's kind of the guy in Miami, so it's kind of rough for Finn. But I mean, he's got nothing. Everyone's on bye on his team, so I understand why I would have to do the same thing. I'd have to start somebody even worse, so that's not that bad. But a rough one to have to start. He's starting Jamal, and Jamal is just son of a bitch. I hate this guy. He just gets a touchdown every game. You just know he's gonna get a touchdown. He hasn't gotten a touchdown in 4 games. So 9 out of 13 games he scored a touchdown, if not more than one touchdown. Most of the time it's 2 fucking touchdowns, or even 3 once. So that's Jamal. He's Mr. Red Zone. I hated him. I when I had Aaron Jones, he fucking ruined him too, and now I hate him. He's probably gonna destroy me. But the big one is Tyreek, and Tyreek could score so many points it doesn't even matter what the fuck my team does. He's playing the Chargers, so that could easily be a shootout kind of game. But every time I say that about Herbert, I feel like it never is. It's usually one team destroys the other, or it's just not as exciting as you would think. But that is Sunday night, so primetime Herbie versus Tua, and everyone's been like, hey, Tua's better than fucking Herbert. Yeah, his little noodle arm, he could throw it to Tyreek. He could throw the ball 20 yards away from Tyreek, and he's so fast he can fucking run to catch it. And it's like, wow, look at that good throw from Tua. So I think Herbert's been hearing the idiots on TikTok being like, hey, is Tua better than Herbert? Gee whiz. When no fucking GM in the league would select Tua in a draft over Justin Herbert. Anyways, I think Herbert's going to fucking show him who's the better quarterback. So, but that doesn't matter for Tyreek. Tyreek, regardless, will probably have 30 points. Even if he has J.C. Jackson on him, there's no shutting this guy down. He's ridiculous. So that's the big one. Debo playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense, their rush defense is solid. Or not their rush defense, their pass defense. I mean, their defense in general is solid. But I think they're going to use Debo as a freaking running back because they're who they start in Purdy. They don't have Garoppolo. I think Debo might have a lackluster game, but he might just be running the ball so much that it doesn't matter. But he's been struggling recently. He has just not produced. He's gotten 2 touchdowns all year, bro. Are you serious? Where's his rushing stats? Why does it just shows fucking receiving? It really doesn't show. This website sucks, bro. Where the hell are his rushing stats? Why would it not show that on there? No, he's gotten 4 touchdowns on the year. Just the stupid sleeper sucks ass. No, it's better than everything else. But yeah, so Debo might not do much. Gerald Everett, he's Gerald Everett. And yeah, he's got to figure out. He's got to drop somebody on his bench if he even wants to change his lineup right now. He's got his open flex spot, but he can't even move his lineup. He's gonna have to drop somebody. So I would probably drop Lazard or Antonio Gibson if I was him, so he could actually play a flex player. But yeah, that's rough. So Herbert's playing Miami. I talked about that. Gino's gonna get 18. James Conner against New England, I'm a little worried about. Najee against Baltimore, I'm worried about. You just never know what you're going to get out of these fucking things. James Conner was getting fed against the Chargers, but their rush defense was terrible. He played 97% of snaps, so this guy is like, he is like a bell cow now. I mean, it's crazy. They're feeding the guy, so I love it if they can keep that going. I just need a touchdown out of James Conner. Najee, I fucking hate him, but he might get 10 points. DK, I hope Gino picks DK. That's the thing about DK and Ty Lockett. You never know which one, who's going to get picked, who's going to have the great game, who's going to have the, like, 7-point game and do fucking nothing. T. Higgins, you can see right where Jamar Chase comes back, he only gets 5 targets. He's basically just a decoy so Chase can get open because Burrow just loves Chase so much. So he could, I hope he gets a touchdown. That's all I can hope for. But Mark Andrews, what the fuck are the Ravens doing? Who are they throwing to? He has to have a good game. If Huntley does not target Andrews at least like 12 times. And now Michael brought this up. I think Huntley was the one who was playing back here who completely fed Mark Andrews, and he went crazy back when he had Tyler Huntley these first 3 weeks of the playoffs last year, week 14, 15, and 16. So hope to see that again. And then I don't know who I'm going to start. If I'm going to start Devontae or James Palmer, it depends on if broken-ass Mike Williams comes back. But Devontae's way too robust. But at least for this first week, I see myself beating Finn because all of his best players basically are on bye. Not his best players, but a lot of his good players are on bye. So, back to league. Now we got Michael and Bobby. Not much to talk about this one. I think Bobby's just going to annihilate Michael. Even though Michael's team showed that it could perform last week, it has shown weeks before that it can very well also not perform. But it really depends on the Lions. If they feel like playing really good offense, that's just how the Lions have been all year. They will come out and either do nothing on offense, like back here against the Giants, or they come out and Jared Goff looks like Peyton Manning, and Amon-Ra St. Brown looks like Marvin Harrison, which is what happened last week. So if that happens again, Michael has a fighting chance. But just going down the line with Bobby's team, there's really I mean, Pacheco plays Denver, so that might be a rough one for him. But I mean, Devontae against the Rams, it's like unless these guys are playing like the Niners or Denver, like it doesn't matter who the hell they're playing. They're matchup proof. AJ Brown against the Giants, yeah, that just depends if Jalen Hurts feels like targeting him. And then Dak against Houston. I mean, Jesus Christ, Josh Allen's playing the Jets. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one for Michael. But I don't really think he's even caring about winning. He's just happy he's not gonna lose. So. Uh, Irrelevant. But if he could pull the upset and knock out Bobby in the first round, that opens the championship wide open for anyone who wants it. So yeah, projection for that one, I would say this week Bobby scores about 150, Michael scores 135. Why does it do this? Why does it fucking do this? Okay, now talking about Connor and Jacob, and I think this is the hottest matchup of the week. Right here, this shit right here is going to be a little crazy. So Connor's going to have to start Tannehill against Jacksonville. And Tannehill, mind you, has been solid. He has not been a chump. He's been putting up points. I mean, he dropped almost 20 against Denver somehow. He's got rushing upside. He runs it sometimes, occasionally. But his floor is like 12 and a half, 13 points, and that's all you need sometimes out of a quarterback if the rest of your team plays. But he's definitely no Lamar, but Lamar has been sucking ass recently, so I really don't think it's that big of a downgrade for Connor. But Jalen Hurts playing the Giants, and what can you say about Hurts? The dude's insane. He's having yeah, he's almost like Patrick Mahomes, man, but he fucking runs more than Patrick Mahomes. It's crazy. Not Patrick Mahomes throwing wise, just points wise, or Josh Allen, I guess would be the better comparison. But he's been absolutely insane. He's got Joe Mixon now, who I hope he's gonna play. I don't know. He's making progress somehow. It must have been a bad concussion. He's out 2 fucking weeks, but hopefully he plays. I don't know if I think Cleveland has a really shitty rushing defense, so I think they might feed the hell out of Mixon once he's back. Godwin against San Francisco, I think that's brutal. I don't think starting anyone on Tampa Bay's offense is worth it in fantasy, but he really has no other options. It's either that or Juju against fucking Denver or Marquise against New England. And did he have a good game last week? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Godwin is just getting force fed, so I think he still could have a decent game. But I think Brady's just gonna get destroyed by Nick Bosa and the rest of that friggin' San Francisco defense. So that's a rough one. And then he's got Kelsey playing Denver. CeeDee Lamb against Houston. I think he's just gonna go crazy. I mean, they'll probably put like 50 some points up against Houston, like they have been to even better opponents. They put up that much against Indiana. And I think they did that to the Giants too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it should be a big game from CD. But Derrick Henry against Jacksonville, on paper he should be great. But defenses are just figuring out what they do with Derrick Henry, and they just stack the box. And if you don't let him break out for 80-yard rushing touchdowns, then sometimes you can beat the Titans. And then he's got Tyler Lockett against Carolina, which is a pretty solid matchup, I think. But looking at Jacob's team, Mahomes is playing Denver, and I'm of the opinion that it doesn't matter who Mahomes plays, he's just gonna pop off. I mean, he dropped 30 against the Niners, which is probably the best defense he's played. But he's just matchup proof. It's freaking Mahomes. I think it's at Denver, and Denver's offense is terrible. They're not going to score more than like 15 points, so I think that'll just stop it from being a shootout. But I don't really think that means that Patrick Mahomes is just going to stop throwing the ball. I mean, it might get so out of hand that they just bench him because they are probably going to be winning by the second quarter, or by it's probably the second quarter. But they're not the team that just like, oh yeah, we'll just run the game out. I think they like to put some points up, but it will not be like a big back and forth, like he has to throw for 400 yards to win the game or anything. So that's the the one thing Connor can hope for out of that. But then you got Deshaun Watson at Cincinnati, and he just looks like shit. So I think that's going to be rough. He's got Nick Chubb, who Deshaun Watson kind of ruins his value because Nick Chubb loved the end zone, and he's not getting in there now that Deshaun Watson is playing because Deshaun Watson can't get him anywhere close to the fucking end zone. So that kind of hurts. ETN, I thought ETN was going to be the league winner. I probably jinxed Jacob for saying that. I was like, this is like exactly what you get. This is what you need to win. You need some guy who just like all of a sudden just breaks out and he starts going crazy. And he had like 3 really good games here. I mean, like 5 good games. And then ever since then, he's just like kind of fallen off. And I don't know what's going on with ETN. I think it's more so just Jacksonville in general is that shitty. But they play Tennessee, which is a rough defense to play, so that could be a really bad game for ETN. Justin Jefferson against Detroit should go crazy. I could see him dropping 30. Waddle against the Chargers. I mean, it's just you never know with Waddle. He has been very. He's at stretches where he's very consistent, but as of now, he's kind of in a rut. He's been a little inconsistent, but it just depends on how Noodle Arm Tua decides to play that game. And he could drop like 20. It could just be a Tyreek show. You never know with Waddle. Dalton Schultz against Houston. That's a solid matchup, but he's a tight end who's not Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, so he could very well get you 3 or 4 points, or he can get you 20. You just don't know. Damian Pierce has been, like I talked about him earlier, he's not getting fed as much as I mean, back against this week against Miami, week 12, like 5 carries. What the fuck was that? I think they're just getting to the point where they're like, well, do we really want to run this guy into the ground for a season that's already over? They're literally tanking. So, with all that said, this one's very, very close. It's just a lot of what ifs. Jacob's team last week was just God, they're bad, man. But I think Justin Jefferson and Mahomes is just enough to win because they can each combine for like 70 fucking points, man. Or I mean, that's like crazy, but it could happen. It's playoffs, baby. And Connor's just got that luck where teams just do that to him. They put up records when they play Connor in the playoffs. So I would project this one to go. I mean, Jesus. I think it's gonna be so fucking good. I think Connor like 150 and Jacob like 148. Like I think it could be that close, but we shall see. I have Connor winning the first week though. And now we're down to the second and third seed of the losers bracket. We got Andrew versus Cam. So Andrew's quarterback situation just gets worse and worse by the day. Stafford just ain't playing anymore. Garoppolo's out for the year. So now, thank God he traded for Tom Brady, but not against the Niners. I think against the Niners, I mean, Brady has been struggling against defenses that are way worse than the Niners. But he does have a floor. I mean, he always gets at least above 10, but I think against the Niners, that might be the game where he just, like, he can't do it. He can't, like, carry the entire team on his back because their defense is so good. So that might be rough for Brady. Trevor Sylvia is playing Tennessee. That's going to be a rough one, I think. But Trevor Sylvia has been solid recently. He can put up about 17. McCaffrey against Tampa Bay, it's interesting with their new quarterback. I think he's also pretty much matchup proof. They'll probably do a lot of checkdowns to him, so he could easily get like back here against Miami and just he's probably not going to run the ball a lot, but he gets that freaking the targets, which are just insane. So he's going to do what CMC does. Eckler's going to do what Eckler does. Just get he's like fucking Najee. It's like they have Big Ben throwing him. The fact that Eckler gets this many targets is sickening. You have a guy like Justin Herbert, and they're treating him like he's fucking broke ass Big Ben in a wheelchair, and they're like, yeah, throw it to Eckler 15 times, throw it to him 12 times, throw it to him 16 times. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Do they not see who they have? So Eckler's probably going to get about 20. Hopkins against New England, I think that's going to be a rough one for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are at the breaking point. Their team, I mean, they just suck ass. I think Kyler's checking out, but it's still Kyler. He still can do Kyler things regardless of their shitty coach. Amari against who they play, Cincinnati. Yeah, Deshaun sucks, so I think that's gonna be rough. I'd be surprised if Amari gets over 10, but Deshaun has just sucked ass. Kirk against Tennessee, he should be all right, but just a lot of what ifs for Andrew. He could easily just have a horrendous game. I could see that, but when you have CMC and Eckler, your floor is pretty decent. So That's Andrew's team. Now jumping over to Cam's team. So the story Cam's team is he's got two guys on the Bengals, and sometimes they combine for about 70 points. And that's really all there is to talk about when it comes to his team. He's got Daniel Jones against Philadelphia. I think that's going to be brutal. I don't think he's played Philadelphia yet this year. Yeah. He hasn't played Philadelphia. Danny Dimes has been a big pickup for Cam. He's solid. I kind of wish I picked him up back when I had the opportunity, but I don't think I bid enough on him. Yeah, he's good and he runs a lot too. He's a fucking little Josh Allen. He runs a shit ton. He ran 12 times last week. What the hell? I didn't even see that. But I think Philadelphia is going to be a rough one for him. So he could very well get that projected like 14 points, which would be decent. But yeah, then you got DeAndre Swift is actually playing football now. They're actually putting him in half the game. So watch out for Swift, man. He could drop 20 here against Minnesota. He's got big play potential. Speaking of big play potential, we got Tony Pollard, and now I cannot predict how many points he's going to get because it could hurt my brain even trying to think about it because this guy, he is the backup to Zeke, but he is obviously so much better. It's mind-boggling. But against Houston, man, oh my gosh. I mean, look at these projections they give him. They're still projecting him to have like 13 points. Like, are you serious right now? He's doubling his projections like every fucking week, man. It's crazy. So he could drop about 38 or something on Andrew. But he also might just have a rough one. Not even rough. They might just. I mean, they should be up so much that he's playing more than Zeke. Like, why are they playing broke ass Zeke? Whatever. Garrett Wilson against Buffalo. That's a rough matchup. But he has been getting fed these past couple weeks from Mike White. Holy shit. So I think Cam's sneaky, and he could very well win the losers bracket. I'm hoping I win it, but I would just be thrilled if I didn't lose this year. But yeah, Cam's team is looking good, man. And then he's got Ramondre, and I mean, Ramondre and Pollard are like exactly what I needed to have on my team to have any chance. Like, you just need these guys that you got in the late round to way outperform. But my entire team has been underperformed. Literally everyone besides Cooper Kupp, who I traded away, has underperformed. So he at least has these two guys who are overperforming their draft spot and doing it in a big way. And now he's got Garrett Wilson, man. Watch out for Cam's team, dude. Watch out. And Burrow is playing like a legend now. Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one. I got Cam beating Andrew like 140 to 125 here. And Cam still has an empty tight end. I don't know who the hell he's playing. He's Evan Engram. No, he's got to go Dolchich, I would imagine. Yikes. Picking between those two stars. But yeah, that's a picture for week 14. It's gonna be a big one. It's a big one, boys. I just hope I win. Obviously, but yeah, that's my prediction. I got Cam beating Andrew this first week. I got Connor beating Jacob. I got Bobby beating Michael, and I have me beating Finn just purely because fucking headset. Purely because he has all those players on bye. And that's really my only hope there. But yeah, my team has actually been kind of playing well recently, but it really just depends on what Seattle does. Like, if Gino and DK combine for like 45 or 50 points, that'd be pretty dope. But yeah, that's a week 14 picture, guys. I don't know who's recapping next week, but it won't be me. I still want to do my recap for week 16 because I want to do something big. I have been doing the lazy recaps where I just sit here and fucking ramble. So I want to do a big one. But yeah, that's all I got, boys. Good luck. Don't fuck this up. If you ever want a championship, you gotta perform now in the playoffs, baby.